14th place.
Hello everybody, and you're very welcome to round 17 of my Formula 1 career mode. This will be the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the Yas Marina circuit. You can see I've only finished 14th in practice behind my teammate Maldonado, and that was because I kind of struggled with a tyre upgrade, a test sort of thing, or a fuel upgrade. I forget which one it was now, but it took ages to get a rhythm going, and there you can see in qualifying I haven't got up to pace, and I'm panicking to try and get out of Q1. I haven't been eliminated at this stage for quite a long time, and I don't want to start a bad habit while I've gotten rid of it. So now I'm pushing as hard as I can, and I take a cheeky shortcut, so that outlaws my lap. So I'm down to just one last chance, and this is it. I would have improved my time if I had have kept it clean, but we'll have to put all my emotion into this one. So I'm tied with Jean-Eric Vergne's sector 1 to a thousandth of a second, but I'm 4/10 up on my own, and there's a Force India ahead. I'll need to negotiate, and my teammate as well. We move on quickly to sector 2, entering the second DRS zone. A minute has passed. Can I get below 1 minute 4? Yes, I can. I'm 2/10 up on Verne. It's all about this last sector. There's a little error, and pressure building as the sun begins to set into the final 2 corners. There's 1 and there's 2. Is it enough? 1:43, 4, 5. No, I've missed it. I've gone up to 17th for the Grand Prix, but it's not enough to advance Maldonado using his Williams to beat me for the first time in a very long time, with Alonso topping the table. He needs to win this race, and no matter what happens, he'll be the world champion. So he's setting himself a good habit, and you can see there Maldonado eventually did himself justice with a 12th position. So my team are very upset with me. They want me to finish 15th as a sort of momentum builder. But here we go. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is underway. Gutierrez is ahead of me, and he's trying to find a gap. There's Jean-Eric Vergne to my left, and down the inside jumps Daniel Ricciardo. So I'm down in another position. Di Resta off to a poor start, already behind the 2 Toro Rossos, and I'm trying to find the gap. As you can see, the Caterhams are behind me. So, and now, nearly going onto that bumpy section of the curbs, and I'm taking a dive bomb. I'm up 3 positions, and now I'm trying to get Hulkenberg. Little contact wheel to wheel, but there's an easy gap to exploit again. So that gives me 14th. But Gutierrez gets a better drive out of the corner, so I'm not going to gain 13th just yet. My teammate Maldonado now shuffling with Sutil for position, and Gutierrez is trying to plot his move. But under the advertising board we go, and I dive down the inside once more on my super softs, and I'm through to 13th. Nearly got a slide out. Gutierrez, bad exit, and Hulkenberg is through. Now Sutil has been overtaken by Maldonado, and we're going to head into sector 2 now. There we go, across the sector split. Sutil down the inside of Maldonado, and I'm going to take him as well. Oh goodness, contact! Maldonado couldn't get out of the way in time, so Maldonado has lost even more places. So a desperate lack of communication between the teammates, but I'm up into 12th, so all's good. Fantastic start to the Grand Prix, and I've got to keep that momentum going for the remainder of the race if I can. So Sutil's starting to build a little lead over me, and Felipe Massa is the first man to chase the points. The leaders have made a big getaway in the mini-map there, but that completes a lap of the Yas Marina circuit, and now I have to do that 27 more times and hope for a good result. We now advance to lap 2, just heading into the chicane. 1 and 2. Oh no, bad exit. And Nico Hulkenberg will be ready and waiting to pounce. DRS zone, not quite active yet, but he's still going to get a run. Hulkenberg goes inside. He's made his commitment. I stay outside, braking at the 125 meter point, and there we go, taking that chicane nicely. Hulkenberg loses a lot of time. Sutil 2.2 seconds ahead of me as I go wide, and I'm lucky to keep it on the road. But a mistake on lap 3 has been made by Kimi Raikkonen. and he's lost his point scoring position, and that gives me 11th place. So Sutil has the big advantage here. No! Oh, just moments later, I'm in the wall, and into the pits I must go. A huge mistake in such an early point of the race. It's just like my Bahrain Grand Prix earlier in the season, where I hit the wall just in front of the pit lane, and I now have to get the repairs done. I head onto my harder tyre, try and get a longer stint going, but I've only got one other set of super softs left, so I'm already in deep trouble, and I'm well down the order. So that was the last thing I needed. I was doing so well, and the crash, even before the first pit stops we made, is a big problem. Now I've got my head down and I'm trying to resurrect my race. DRS activated. Guido van der Gaard, what can he do? Nothing much, to be honest. I hurtle down the inside and I'm up to 21st, so big disappointment for van der Gaard, and I take a rather blatant shortcut there to try and catch Chilton as we head towards the end of lap 5 now, and Chilton's going to commit for the pit lane, so if I had to survive 2 more laps I would have been on strategy, but I have work to do to try and revive my plan. And now here is my teammate Maldonado heading out the pits, the rather extraordinary underground exit, and now I'm going to end up behind Maldonado in 17th position, but I've beaten Paul di Resta, which is good news, and I've understeered wide. It's an extremely dangerous section of the track to go wide on, as the car bumps and humps everywhere, so another shortcut to keep my position. But Jules Bianchi is conserving his tyres very nicely, and he finds himself ahead of Maldonado. Pastor will do everything he can to get past, but it's already lap 7 and the Marussia is still ahead. Here we go, braking into 3rd gear for turn 1. We've beaten another car out of the pits very nicely, but now I need to get back my 15th position, which is currently being occupied by Maldonado, but Bianchi is in trouble now. Maldonado with a great run. The Venezuelan goes outside and he's through. I go for the inside line. Bianchi's surely in trouble now. There you have it, I'm through. Nicely driven. So Williams do a double team, and now we're back to where we need to be. But Maldonado gets an excellent run out of the corner. And check up on the first stint. It's Alonso, Hamilton, Webber, Vettel, Rosberg, Massa, Button, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Perez, Sutil, Hülkenberg, Gutierrez, Maldonado, Harman, Bianchi, Verne, Ricciardo, Di Resta, Peak, Chilton and Van der Gaard. So now an action replay of an incident of mine. There you can see I've kicked up on the curb and I'm into the rare piece of grass here in the United Arab Emirates. So that will mean I'll have to make another pit stop, as I'm now down to 16th. Paul di Resta not able to take advantage of my mistake. I decide at the last second to go back onto the option tyre. After a 3-second stop, a nicely played one by my team, I head out onto the track again, and I'm going to try and beat Peak out of the pits with Chilton in tow. Here we go, I'm onto the track again. I go wide once more, contact with the G Money logo to show my assertion to the Frenchman, and I understeer onto the marbles, but I have the attack position now, so I'm up into 18th. So I'm the last of the regular runners for the time being, as the back markers are now in my dust. This is now lap 12, and you can see I get another kick off the curb. My left front was shifted to the left, and that completely ruined my entry into the final corner. So it's Paul di Resta clear ahead of Ricciardo, I believe, so I'm just going to try and get 16th back. But here comes Force India. He's clear. Good pit stop by the Indian team, but what can I do about that? Braking late for the chicane, and certainly I've got a better run than the rest. I go for the inside. Yes, I'm through. 16th position is mine once more, but Maldonado's way up the road as he hasn't made a stop yet. And you're going to just witness the overpoweredness once more of DRS. As you can see, not only did I get the overtake, I also got the DRS, and I'm miles ahead of Di Resta heading into the commitment line. For lap 14, just about the halfway point, we can see Jean-Eric Verne is heading out of the pits. So I have another chance to gain back my position, but my tyres don't last much longer, so I have to make it count while I can, delay my opponents while I'm on the road, and then get my fresh rubber off the road. So now I dive the inside again. I'm not close enough, but I will get DRS as the Frenchman will try and accelerate away as it's Toro Rosso. And I respond with a rich fuel mix, as I've been saving fuel by default, really. There we go, on DRS. I'm not going to catch him in time, but maybe I'll make a commitment. I switch my strategy back to the primes. There we go, there's my dive, and I'm through. Trying to get through the chicane. No, that's not how you take the chicane. And Jean-Eric Vergne is straight back through. Moments later, it's Paul di Resta on the attack, but he is forced to the outside. My team are yelling box, 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 and I certainly agree with them, as I managed to survive taking that shortcut, and I'm through. I'm through that section. We skip straight to the emergence of my car out of the pit lane. I understeer into the logos, but I'm back down to 18, so a long way to go in this race as we take an update. It's Alonso, the world championship elect, world champion elect, ahead of Hamilton, Vettel, Rosberg, Webber, Massa, Button, Perez, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Gutierrez, Sutil, Maldonado, Vergne and company. So I've now been caught by Alonso, the man I've just mentioned earlier. As long as he stays clean, he will win the title. So I'm not going to protest my blue flag, and away goes the Spaniard. So I've now got to catch di Resta. He's now going to be caught by Alonso, and this could make things very interesting as I head out of the tight hairpin left. You can see now the AI cars have been badly shuffled by Fernando Alonso, and that means I can commit down the back straight and hopefully catch up to these two rivals before my pit stop. There we go, diving late as I can, using the darkened tarmac as a guide, and away we go. First gear under the beautiful little bridge there. Paul di Resta pits, Jean-Eric Vergne pits, or I think that was Ricciardo, excuse me. It's Daniel Ricciardo pitting, and I now have 16th place back, so I don't have long left on these tyres, so I have to go as quick as I can. In we go, using those curbs to my advantage. I'm braking late for the pit lane line. Fernando Alonso didn't gain that much time on me, so I'm pretty chuffed with myself there. And away we go. 3 seconds stop again, but di Resta emerges ahead. Excuse me, there we go. Woo, getting feisty out of the pit lane. So I've one last chance to catch Paul di Resta as Sebastian Vettel sets the new fastest lap. Now, there you go, diving for the hairpin again. You can see again lots of time in this section. I've no problems here. It's just the middle one where I'm bumping awkwardly off the curbs. We've got two cars heading out of the pit lane now. That could give me 16th place. There we go, braking late and up the hill, which was likened to Eau Rouge, but it's nothing quite like it. Now, you can see the beautiful day to night transition is starting to take effect. The dusk is starting to affect racing conditions, and I go a little wide there, but it helps me once more into the left turn. And now I surely have a chance to beat di Resta on my last stint, which will be a great achievement since I lost a lot of time heading out of the pits. So Alonso, Vettel, Hamilton, Massa, Rosberg, Button, Webber, Perez, Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, Grosjean, Gutierrez, Sutil, Maldonado, Ricciardo, Vergne, di Resta, myself, Bianchi, Peak, Van der Garde and Chilton. No one has retired from the race yet. My DRS has managed to fail, so I'm now being warned just as I'm starting to get a rhythm going to allow the other rostrum battlers, Vettel and Hamilton, through. So more marbles for my tyres, but not in the good way, of course. And we'll now try and catch up to these two. They were affected by the leaders, and just very little time left to go. I have every chance of getting 17th at least. And there you go, lovely entries through the corners, braking as late as I can. Here we go. And again, can I survive? No! No, it's all over. Into the wall I go. And my race is pretty much done and dusted there, and I have to let Felipe Massa through on my inside as well as Nico Rosberg. So what a disaster. The last thing I needed was to do that. Such a stupid mistake, and my frustrations were complete when I took a dirty shortcut and got myself a time penalty, and then I completely lost my rag. I missed the pit lane entry and I got warned for entering a restricted area. So I was like, screw this, I may as well just keep going. And here's Sergio Perez to overtake. He's running in 7th position. I get another penalty for another corner cut, and I have to let other cars through. So an exceptionally poor drive. So I had every chance of at least finishing 18th, but 40 seconds added to my time will mean that I'll finish dead last. So it's just a matter of time of when I'll get penalised. And Alonso wins the Grand Prix. I ended up getting another time penalty for more careless driving. And just the worst race of my season finally comes to an end. So 22nd and last as a result of a 1 minute time penalty. And we'll just have to put that one into the memory, I suppose. Just forget about it and just ponder what might have been if I didn't make that mistake on lap 3. So Fernando Alonso takes the checkered flag, and he is the world champion for F1 2013 season 1. Hamilton and Vettel could only finish in his dust. So there you go. 52 points is unassailable with 2 races to go. Thankfully for me, I'm still 12th in the drivers' championship, as neither of the Force Indias scored points, and Gutierrez is of course a outside threat. Williams remained 8th in the constructors as well. So our season is pretty much going to wind to a close. So I failed in both my objectives, so I don't get any reward. But the Circuit of the Americas is bound to be wet for the Sunday Grand Prix, and that could make my life even more miserable. I've never driven the Texas track before, so I hope you enjoyed the episode and see how I survive in the wet. So cheerio, have a good night.